when I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burden be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be.
So, I just played the piano cover of You Raise Me Up by Westlife in a freestyle manner with an unknown singer, right? Yes. So, in this lesson, we are coming to take a look at the chords that I played in relation to every lesson that we have learned. So, what I did in the lesson were just applications of the chords that we have learned throughout this whole series. Yes. So, let's get started. Let's take a look at the content of the piano cover and let's learn from the chords. So the song is in the key of C, and I believe we already know the major scale of C. So the progression is very simple. Now, for those of you who want to learn the melody of this track, as you learn the chords, I'll be playing the melody, so you will know like where I've gotten to, and so I will tell you to use this opportunity to learn the melody as well. So the beginning of the song goes like, when I am down, right? Yeah, so that at that part, the progression is basically a 1 to the 4 and back to the 1 again. So the when I am down, which is 4, back to the 1 again. So if it is 1, and now this is the basic way of playing 1, 4, and back to the 1, right? So what can we do to spice things up here? So on the 4, a chord that we can play to replace our basic F major triad is an F major ninth chord. Okay. So instead of playing an F major triad or its first inversion, you can play an F major ninth chord on the 4 or the F. Yeah, and it will fit perfectly. So like when I am down, then okay. So this is an F major ninth chord. So we go ahead and play it on the F major chord, and then on the 1, on the 1 we can play the C major 7th chord. So we are playing a major ninth chord on the 4, major 7th chord on the 1. Now you remember inversions, right? So after playing the major ninth chord on the 4 like this, we can play a major 7th chord like this on the 1, and it fits perfectly. So this is a C major 7th chord, but it has been inverted. Okay, now this is the third inversion. So you can choose to do then to you see that now the nature of the chords have changed. Instead of playing, you can play so let's go to the when troubles come, which is let's look at that part. So now that part is basically, so it's from the 4 to the 3, okay, or from the F to the E. So on the F this time, what chord are we applying here? In this chord. Now on my MIDI clause it says F minor major 7th. So let's take a look at what it means over here. So let's take a look at the chord I played here. So we have the F, then you can clearly see that. So we have the F, and then you can clearly see that I have my minor 7th. This is the major 7th interval of F. I have my minor 7th, right? And then you can clearly see that I have my minor 3rd. So even these two should give you a minor 7th chord, because an F minor 7th chord will be made up of the F itself, the root note, the minor 3rd, and the minor 7th. Right? Yes. So this will give you an F minor 7th chord. You see, but it has been rearranged. This is an F minor 7th chord. Now I've taken the root, and I've got the root here. I've taken the minor 7th, and I've brought it here. Right? But then an interesting thing happened. I still introduced the major 7th note in the F minor 7th chord. So this one is different from the F minor major 7th. You see, do you remember how we constructed the minor major 7th chord? We construct the minor major 7th chord by playing the minor chord or the minor triad. But this time I won't play the minor 7th note, but the major 7th note. But look at the chord I'm playing. I have the minor 7th note and then the major 7th note in addition. And this is not something I even taught in the earlier lessons. So you see, the song breakdown that we are doing over here is even introducing a whole lot of new stuff. Yeah, that's why I told you chords and the keyboard is all about creativity. So according to my creativity, I played an F minor 7th chord, but I added, some way somehow, I ended up adding the major 7th note. So there's a minor 7th, there's a major 7th note. And what name did the software give me? F minor 7th, major 7th. So there's a new discovery over here. Now I tell you, there are a whole lot of discoveries. Like I keep saying, each and every day, new discoveries are made in music, because music is very dynamic and music is art. It's all about creativity. So you see, I've made a discovery here right now. So the most important thing is for you to get the basics of the chord extensions and everything that we have learned here. After getting the knowledge, you can then manufacture or create your own chords. So F minor 7th, major 7th chord. So that was the chord I played on. So on the 4 to the 3, on the 4, I have my F minor 7th, major 7th chord. A very beautiful chord. So you can always play this chord when you want to approach your 3rd note. And on my 3rd note, what do you see over here? Now, let's take a look at this one very carefully. On my right hand, you see that I have a C sus2 chord. I have a C sus2 chord and a G sus4 chord combined. So I have a C sus2 chord and a G sus4 chord combined. Or basically, you can say I have a G sus4 chord, but I've chosen to repeat the G over here. Okay. And on my left hand, I have the E bass note. So the software is saying C added 9th or C add 9 over E bass note. Now this is the E bass note that the software is talking about. So let's take this away. Let's see if this is a C add 9th chord. Now why is it calling it a C added 9th chord? The C added 9th chord because the components of the note, the components of the chord or the notes that make up the chord can also form a C add 9th chord. Now an added 9th chord will be this is a C add 9th chord. Okay. Now we can take these notes and then split them. So this was the chord I played. So let's see if it is true. Now I have the C, this C and D. I have them over here, right? And then I have this G over here. So I've repeated the G. So can you see that it's still a C add 9th chord with the E as my bass note? Okay, yes, that's what I'm telling you. Like the software will just give you one way of naming it, but if you look at it carefully, or if you take away the, if you look at it so if you look at it carefully, or if you take the notes that makes up the chord, you can easily get another name for the chord, depending on how you are looking at it. Okay, so let's see, add 9 over E. So on the 4 again, so we come from, then we come to the 4 or the 5. So let's take a look at the 4. Now on the 4, I have an F major 7th chord, and though I'm kind of playing a 7-note chord, meanwhile we know that a major 7th chord is made up of 4 notes. We are playing 7-note chord. Why? Because I've chosen to repeat some of the notes that make up the F major 7th chord. So take a look at this carefully. I have my F, my regular F, I have the C over here as well. So making it 2 notes. And then I have the A over here as well. So if you take a look at this word, the components are just an F major 7th chord, but I have voiced it in a different way. Okay, so which means that if you sit down, you can also take one chord and then voice it in a different way by repeating some of the notes that you see. So I can bring the A, like I already did. I brought the A over here as well, but it's still the same chord. I can choose to bring the C, so I can do this and then take the C and then bring the C here, right? And then I can bring the E. See this E? I can bring the E here. It's still the same chord, but I'm getting different sounds and different voices. That is what you call chord voices. So these are all techniques of chord voicings. So this will be a personal assignment for you. Okay, sit down and then just generate more chords from one chord by repeating some of the notes. So now this is a pure G sus 2 chord over the 5. And then something interesting happened to you. So I have a series of diminished chords. This is a C diminished chord, right? But it's actually a G flat or an F sharp diminished chord. Okay, now look at the notes carefully. I've again chosen to repeat the notes that make up the F sharp diminished 7th chord. So this is basically an F sharp diminished 7th chord. We already know how to construct a diminished chord. So basically it is an F sharp diminished 7th chord. Now take a look at this carefully. See the F sharp here or the G flat here? It's already here. Do you see the A here? It's already here. So it's still the same chord. Nothing has changed. Now I can even go ahead and then put this C here as well, so that it will be like this. It is still the same chord. So this is a G sharp diminished 7th chord to an A flat diminished 7th chord. Now the same principle, okay, the same principle to the 6. Now this is just a regular A minor chord. So I'm F major 7th again to our source chord. Do you remember this chord, this 3 chord? So let me put everything together that we have done from the beginning till now. Let's look at the chords I did here. The until you can so. Now this one I went to the flat 7, which is the B flat. Now this is a B flat 13th chord. Okay. Now if I'll give this to you as an assignment. Find out why this chord is a B flat 13th chord. Because normally if you want to construct a B flat 13th chord, that's how we construct it. We construct our B flat. Because a B flat 13th is the same as B flat dominant 13th chord. So construct our B flat dominant 7th chord or B flat 7th chord. You add a 9, you add a 11 in the B flat scale, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So this is the B flat dominant 7th chord, B flat dominant 9th, dominant 11th, dominant 13th chord. So look at this 13th chord. And now the software is saying that this is also a B flat 13th chord. So this is our assignment. I want you to find out why this is a dominant 13th chord or a B flat 13th chord. Okay, so from here, so our 13th chord to our F minor chord over the A flat. So this is an F minor chord. See, this is an F minor chord, right? It is an inversion of the F minor chord over the A. Then this one is like a G over a C triad. Okay, so it's a very nice movement. Then they raise me up. Now on the raise me up. Sorry. On the raise me up, we can still repeat the diminished chord, the diminished 7th chord that we use. So from the 5, so it's like this: 5, 5 flat, 5 flat, 6, 6. That's the U raise me up. Okay, U raise me up. So on the U, I have the regular 5 chord, then the raise. This is our usual F sharp diminished 7th chord to the A flat diminished 7th chord. We already know this diminished 7th chord. Now this time what I'm doing is I'm playing the direct bass note instead of having to do this. So you can do, or by playing the bass note directly to the 6, to the 4, then now we know that this is an altered chord, right? And we are getting an E augmented 7 sharp 9. Now I believe I don't even have to explain this chord because you have seen this chord several times, especially in the Storm is Over lesson. Okay, so that's the you raise me up. Okay, they can't play this chord. So this is a passing chord to the you raise me up, which is. Now I'm playing it melodically, so raise. Now, what chord is this? Here's the chord itself. It's a B minor 7th chord. This is a direct B minor 7th chord. This is a B minor chord, a B minor 7th chord, and then I've repeated the D here as well. Okay, to our diminished chord again, our A flat diminished 7th chord again. So B minor 7th to A flat diminished 7th chord to so. Now I love this chord so much. So from the you raise me up. I like this chord, and I like playing this way before I come and add the remaining notes, which is. So the remaining notes are these ones: the F, A flat, B, C sharp, and then E. So I play the G notes first. See G on both sides first. Then now this is very wild. This is a wild chord. Now look at the name of the chord. G. It's a G chord. So G flat 9 sharp 11th, or G 13th flat 9 sharp 11th. Remember the number comes first before the accidentals. So we will call it a G 13th flat 9 sharp 11th chord. Now the software brought the 13 last because 13 is probably the biggest number. But I've told you before, the number comes, the alphabet will come before the number, before the numbers with the accidentals will come. So which is a G13th. Now, if there were to be a minor or a major or diminished something, then it would be G minor 13th flat 9 something something. You see, or if there were to be an augmented, G augmented 13th. So the alphabet will come first, the notes will come first, before whether it's a minor or a major, followed by the number, then the accidentals, which is the sharps and flats, will follow. So this is supposed to be where's the chord again? So this is supposed to be a G13th flat 9 sharp 11th chord. This is how we pronounce the name. Okay. So once again, I want you to find out why it is a G13th flat 9 sharp 11. All these are our assignments. I'll be very happy if you submit this assignment to me. Okay. So then the thing. Then we go. We know this chord already. Raise me up, see. We know this one's already. So we know these chords already. Then I ended on the form, which is the F major chord, or this is an F add 9 chord. Okay, F add 9. So I converted it into an arpeggio. Yes. So in this song we have also learned additional chords as well. Okay, and I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Apart from the learning of the chords, we have learned a song, and then I know that you use these chords to do a whole lot of wonderful stuff, because I know you can do it. If you have been able to follow the lesson till now, you have done very well. I know you can do it. So I say congratulations.